day we're going to trigger the automated email sending to the customer and inform them they can go to the store and pick up the gift. And for some reason, the email is in the spam folder, or customer forget about picking up the free gift, we retarget those audience into the Facebook ad. And as you can see here, we able to use different channel, email, and then Facebook ad. And in the ad, we're not only able to create target all the loyalty customer, but very micro segment we're able to target to the customer who recently had the birthday or pet birthdays. So this got really good feedback from the customer. So I would say this is one of the examples that brand can use to communicate with customer in the personalized way on this special event. Another purpose we use marketing automation in Musti Yamiri is to make the purchase experience easier. So we have really good customer experience in store, thanks to the pet expert of salesperson in store. So we would like to duplicate, to transfer the store experience to the online environment, and not only serve customer during the opening time, but we able to serve them whenever they have time for us. As I present here, there are two examples of e-commerce trigger email. So the first one is abandoned cart email to remind customer to finish the purchase if they save some product in the cart but didn't make the purchase. And all the product in the email are personalized recommendation to based on the customer behavior, based on the customer purchase history. This is gonna be really relevant to the customer, and that's how we try to understand the customer more, so we can suggest more relevant products. Another example we use for the e-commerce side is remind the customer to repurchase. For example, if I know that a customer who often purchase puppy food product every 60 days, we send the reminder to email to remind customer refill the food bowl before it's running out. This program got really good conversion rate, especially during the Corona period, because everyone's stocking the food, of course, for the pet as well. And another way to utilize the data is when we want to create more pressure. So we usually use SMS for the last minute offer. Therefore, the customer can feel the pressure and act immediately. So based on this example, I would like to show you that for the marketing automation, it's really important to able to communicate with customer in different channel with a similar message, and not only showing them the same banner, but that content need to be customized based on the data, like the pet name, these product that they purchased before. And these are the front end of marketing automation. So now I would like to take you to more back end, how the marketing automation platform look like and how you can actually build automation programs. So just let me know if you have any comment, because now I can see only my presentation screen. Okay, let's move
Questions they can
toward.
ask here, and I will forward it to Anne.
Sorry.
If anyone has any questions, they can ask in the comment section or in the message box, and then I will forward it to you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Yes, so let's move toward the technical side. Um, for marketing automation platform, there are different features depend on if that platform is used by B2B or the B2C side. But in general, a marketing automation platform should have three components, which is data engine, the automation engine, and then the analysis engine. So first layer, the foundation is the data. And only when you have the good data, the correct data, that's only when you have the good data, you can give the relevant recommendation or relevant content. Otherwise, it become really awkward. For example, to send dog customer the cat email. So clean data is the must, is the foundation. And on top of that is the automation engine. So back then, the marketing platform is have only one channel, like the platform focusing on email marketing, the another platform using for ad. But for the automation, in order to create the whole customer journey, you an automation engine needs to have all the channel integrated to a sort a marketing cloud, or the marketing cloud can also have the all the ability to have the email, to send the SMS, or to send the segment to the pay platform. Another channel which is also coming, or use start to get more popular, is chatbot. So if you can utilize the chatbot, it also really help for the customer experience. And those are the campaign side. In automation engine, it also needs to have the creative side. So the designer or the content writer can need to have the tool that they can build the template and or coding the landing page. So those are creative side, and then the campaign side are the must in the automation engine. And after you're able to create one marketing automation program and launching it, following up or and optimizing is just as important as launching a programs, because even though it's the automation, there is always some bug or some data issue that gonna affect the whole workflow. So these are the overall structure of marketing platform. And as I say here, is the idea to have all-in-one feature in one platform. Normally, if the customer already have some legacy system, like the data engine is usually separate CRM system, then it requires to it require integration to connect the data to the marketing cloud, to the automation engine. And yes, so these are the overall. Now I would like to take you through 3 steps to build a marketing automation programs. I have been using quite different terms like customer journey, marketing automation, workflow. Those are all the same to talk about the whole communication journey toward customer utilize different channels. So of course, back to creating a automation journey, the first thing that you need to create a target group. It's very obvious, similar with launching an email campaign, for example. So the target group, here, let's say I would like to send the puppy guide, educate the puppy customer. So I need to create the puppy target group. And we're gonna utilize the information, utilize the information that the customer gives us. So the first layer are the customer who say that they have the puppy recently. Those are the CRM information. In marketing automation, it get more advanced when I can also create the target group based on the purchase history. So, for example, could I could target the customer who purchased puppy product in last 12 months. That also saying that they have the puppy recently. So in the marketing automation, the complexity getting is scale up easily because of different data source. But when you have all the data in one place, is give the marketeer more insight, more ability to divide the customer into small niche target, not only based on location or age group or uh, female or male type. So those are very basic segment. With marketing automation, we need the target group to be more detailed, more specific. And these are the demo from Salesforce. This is not the tool we use in Musti Yamirib, but I think it's because Salesforce is very popular, so I think it's more relevant to the audience today. And then next step is the actual building the customer journey after you have the, but I think is more relevant to the audience today. And next step is the actual building the customer journey. But I think this from my end is more relevant to the audience today. And next step is the actual building the customer journey. But okay, I will continue. Yes, so let's say I have a target group of puppy customer, and now I would like to design the whole communication flow towards that target group. Here is the customer journey builder, which is very popular user interface for marketing automation specialists. As you can tell, for the automation, it's usually designed based on the flow chart. So there are some action you can create. You can create the email, and then you can plan when you want to send the email, schedule it in advance with different wait note, and then if the customer not interact with your email, what the action you're gonna do next. So here you can see it, you can also send the SMS to only customer who haven't opened the email or haven't done the purchase recently. For me, it's better to work on a simple workflow. But when it comes to the real business rule, where it getting complex very easily, because, for example, you not only want to send one email, you want to send A/B testing or even multiple testing with different variation of the content. So that's where the workflow expand. It's also important to get all the data in one place, all the assets in one place beforehand, because As you can see here, it requires designer to make the banner and all the marketing assets before the specialist like me can actually build the workflow. So it requires a lot of behind work uh, to launch a program. And of course, as I said before, the step 3 is to analyze and optimize the workflow. For my job is usually I need to check the performance of the email or all the marketing assets in order to optimize the workflow. But for the manager, it's more important to see the overall picture, to see how many new customer join in thanks to this communication, or how many new purchase generated from the personalized recommendation in the email. So for the analyze part, it's also very important to integrate different data source by from the Google or by from the POS system, so you can have the sale data and the performance data in one place. So these are the 3 steps of how to build marketing automation. And I would like to go more into what is the use case. So I presented before about the B2C use case. For B2C, marketers usually utilize that automation communication to increase the brand loyalty, and of course also, to create more wow experience. For example, we send the pet birthday email on the pet birthday, and then because of the sale process of B2C is very short, so company also utilize marketing automation to increase the customer retention rate. But for B2B side, it's different. Maybe it's a similar feature, but B2B, in the reality, they want to generate new business. So utilize the automation methods to generate lead, to nurturing lead, or to hand over the lead between marketing and sale. These are the practice that are used by the B2B companies. And of course, invest in one marketing automation platform can be pricey, but comparing with the actual sale you can generate, it actual money you can bring, it make it more clear that nowadays marketing also involved in the sale revenue generate, not only the sale department. And I would like to also say here that you have the automation feature. So it's not only used by the marketing department, but those features also can be used by the service customer or the sale customer, as long as everyone understand the data, everyone know where to get the correct data and send a similar message. So those are about the technical side. Now I would like to come back to the question before, like how to start a marketing automation career. For me, I got the HubSpot certificate 5 years ago, and it was the life changing for me. So the first approach I want to share is you want to be focused on a marketing tool, and you want to be expert in the popular marketing automation platform in Finland. That will give you the golden ticket to for the career. I would say here, like Salesforce and Adobe Marketing Cloud are used by enterprise customer. Those therefore, it's very difficult to be able to practice on the marketing cloud itself, during the learning period, but I know that HubSpot have a lot of free education and also free certificate that you can learn about the tool, learn about the marketing technology in general as well. So I'm highly recommend to check out the HubSpot blog and the certificate. I also heard that there are like certain training program in um, Haga Helia, for example. They offer the training for marketing automation training for students. So there you might have the chance to actually use the tool while you're studying. This is the first approach. So you try to be expert in one marketing automation tool. The second approach I learned later when I'm working is that it takes a lot of it takes different role to create one marketing automation. So if you want to be working for consulting company or marketing agency, you can still build your skill even you don't have any marketing background. For example, here I would see myself as the marketing operation, the orchestra people. But beside that, I need the help from the data scientists to give me the insight of the customer. Why I should target customer who are purchased 60 days ago instead of 90 days ago. So those insight and the analysis skill is really important for the marketing automation team. Another skill that we kind of like in the marketing field is the developer. If you want to work with marketing automation, it's always good to learn the coding language of the specific platform. For example, HubSpot has the own coding language. It's similar with the existing coding language, but they try to modify it based on the platform. So if you have some coding background, you want to move to the consultant firm, then learn a little bit focus on certain coding language. And even if you don't have any technical background, you still have and you still want to work in marketing automation team, then content. It's not on if you have the content skill or the designing skill. It's very good to train in terms of the personal life um, in terms of personal like communication. Let me take an example. Before, if you probably design one banner, you write one email. But now, if you change the skill toward more personalized and toward more data driven, so what is the A/B testing? What could be perform better for certain customer? So if you have the content or creative side, try to practice the skill using like put the customer in the center and try to design the communication for different buyer personas. So those are the marketing automation landscape currently and how you can start to work with marketing automation. I Here, as you see, my presentation is quite general, but I here to I see myself as the storyteller. So if you have any question in terms of the experience working in the field, please feel free to ask. So what gonna be next? Everyone talking about AI, and I think AI would be so useful for marketing automation in Pacific. So what AI can do for marketeers nowadays is whenever you follow up, it quite manual process. But I think AI would be able to give us the insight on time, so the marketer can take the action immediately without waiting for the after the next month to do all the follow up. Another area that AI can help is to generate
General
content.
content.
Yes, so
Yes,
for
so
example,
for
AI
AI
can decide
by
better,
better.
sorry,
Sorry.
should I?
Is there any difficulties or?
No worry, no worry. Uh, this is my last slide already. So yes, AI can help the creative uh, person to create more variation of a banner of a content if we give them some instruction. So I think it's quite helpful, but in the reality is I would say in the next 3 to 5 years, the marketing automation skill is still relevant. AI, we have certain kind of AI in use already, but it's gonna take some time to develop it. So I know if everyone concerned is that it is already automated and then now AI gonna take all the creative work and then optimizing work, then what left for human. It come back to the side that because customer uh, in center and only human can understand the emotional side, and we also need to work on the planning and then the strategy side. So I would consider AI as the another team player in the marketing automation team rather than some machine take over the whole workload. So those are my view about marketing automation and some example about Musti Yamiri marketing automation. In nutshell, I would like to say marketing automation is the technology that help company to communicate in the smaller scale. And of course, every marketing investment uh, need to prove the efficiency. And with marketing automation, with the data driven, it's easier for marketer to show the marketing performance in actual sale number. So I would say this is very relevant to the markets, and this is the technical side of the marketing. So if you don't speak Finnish, it could be one niche that you can focus your skill on. Thank you so much for listening. Now is the time for Q&A. So
Thank you so much for the presentation. This was this was super amazing.
thank you so much.
Yeah,
I hope you
yeah, because it,
enjoy.
because you, of course, I enjoyed a lot, and I'm pretty sure that all the participants also enjoyed a lot because you covered like all of the basics on how you go into marketing automation. And I think like what you mentioned is like super true. Like if you want to learn the tips and tricks, of course, you can always Google. But then like all the basics is like covered in this presentation, which is super amazing. And then also we will take the questions from the audience whenever they will have any. But for me also, I also have this question, like, I mean, you mentioned about AI and all of this,
Yeah.
and like, where do you think is the line that, like, marketing automation will forever need a human touch? So like if you are so much customer centric, would you feel like at some point you will always need a human touch because the customers or else would be like, oh my god, this is just the marketing tools doing it, and the
Absolutely.
company and the employees are not feeling anything for me. So
Yes,
like what
absolutely.
so
It
like
it
what
will.
would be some tips for like companies to, like, even if they're doing marketing automation, how would they still keep that customer relationship within themselves?
Yes, yes. That is really relevant point. I would say for us, we are the Omni brand, so we not only
Mhm.
exist online. We always try to drive customer to the store because that's where they got the most relevant and the most human touch as in
Mm-hmm.
the store. And for Musti Yamiri, we see that the marketing automation, we try to deliver the most relevant product. So the customer, when they come to the store, they know what they are looking for. It saves a lot of time for customers, even they go to the store or even they browse on the website. And of course, in the end, the human is really important. But if you can't afford human, I would
Mm-hmm.
say like in the next 10 years, human labor becomes so expensive,
Mm-hmm.
then for the company, it's always important to do all the data cleaning in the beginning because um, the it's no use to send the personalized message if you don't have the correct data, and then the customer can spot right away this is machine sending, not the human sending. So even nowadays we there are a lot of the CRM have been in the market for a lot of time, but in order to integrate all the data into one source is still big challenge for the company, and not only like rely on one source of data, but kind of see the customer in the center, and all the data should support one customer, not you get the not like based on the channel. For example, nowadays the company get lost in too many data from the different channel, and they don't know how to act. But the key here, I think, in order to present the human side in marketing automation, is
Mm-hmm.
you need to have a single view of customer data. So um, you focus on the customer, not focus on channel.
Mm-hmm.
I hope that it is answers some sort of your question, but of course, if you can afford human, it's always better in human touch.
Yeah, and also the communication is, I mean, just for an example, like if someone like wants to know more about the product specifically for something, like let's say they're whatever they have, like it has like some kind of allergy or something, then they want to be very specific with you, and then
Exactly.
getting that reply from a human would be much more pleasing to them than to get it from some automated system.
Yes, and I think it's also helpful our uh, employee to kind of know about customer in advance. So if we have all the customer data in one place, the customer service also come to check like, okay, this is the dog customer. They are have the puppy. So the tone of voice when they meet customer is also different than the one who have like a dog. So I would say once again, if we able to unify all the data around one customer, it helps to both customer and also internal like to work in the more efficiency time.
Mhm. And also, what would you say about the budget? Like, how has you seen the marketing budget shift from? Because I'm guessing that with marketing automation, of course, the budget is now much more efficient. Because previously you were just running your marketing based on some theories that you made by yourself or you came up and you have tried, and it has gone, maybe it has gone well for 10 years, but it doesn't mean that it
Exactly.
will go well for the next 10 years. So how have you seen the shift in the marketing budget when like it
Yeah,
comes to marketing automation?
I think that is also the key reason why company invest heavily on marketing technology because before it's a mass marketing, and you measure based on conversion rate, based on click rate. Those are the marketing tactics. It doesn't ring any bell for the sale manager. So now it's much more crucial to prove that because of this email, because of this uh, incentive, it brings the money to the company. So with the marketing automation, like I mentioned before, because you integrate the data into one source, and not only getting the data in, but also like sending the data out and getting the data back. It creates like a loop to follow up a customer. For example, if the customer purchase certain product, and then we can check it back like, okay, this customer already opened the email which linked to that product. So that is the power of data driven marketing. We can see that the revenue based on the marketing activities. I think it's not just so
Mm-hmm.
obvious for the CMO to track based on the revenue, not only based on the branding measurement or based on the impression measurement anymore.
Mm-hmm. I think then Carol asked, do you also use automation in social media as well as your own CRM data?
Yes, so the CRM data is the data that customer give us. So we are not using the automation or build the automation in the CRM. The CRM is where to store the customer data. And for the social media, I think nowadays it's also possible to do the automation to optimize the better, to optimize the conversion of one ad, for example, and to pre-schedule the post is also automation. It's a like more simple example of automation, but it's I think it's the technology already been there for some time.
Mm-hmm. Would you do you like would you suggest any software to use like for automation in, let's say, social media marketing?
Social media marketing is not my uh, focus, but I wouldn't recommend
Mhm.
any tool.
Totally understood. Yeah, and also like I think that you have already mentioned like some of the free courses that you can do. Would you suggest like to do them from HubSpot? Like if
Yeah.
I want to start, so you go on to HubSpot and you do all of these courses from there. Would you say that these courses would be sufficient enough, or do you want to also suggest some other courses which are paid that you can do online for, let's say, for people who don't want to get like a college degree in that?
Hmm.
Can you do it like in, some other courses online, or would just HubSpot free courses would be efficient for that?
Yeah, I totally understand. Is if if you can study marketing automation in HubSpot is only the introduction,
Hmm.
and the most in the most important lesson probably come from the actual doing the task. So I would say you can start with the free tool. There are a lot of MailChimp can be create some basic workflow where you use only email, and now they have the landing page as well. So those are the free tools that you can practice by yourself. I'm Of course it's always good to show in the degree in the certificate, but the actual work would tell much more. So from my experience, because 5 years ago it have only few people who have that HubSpot certificate. So it was some blur. But nowadays because the many people have that same certificate. So I wouldn't rely only on that HubSpot certificate. If you interested in, they also the Trailblazer in Salesforce is also give out the free um, material that you can learn. But if you want to have the official certificate from Salesforce, there is some payment.
Okay. So if you would you suggest like if I want to take that step of payment, like I want to do paid courses, would you suggest to do the Salesforce then?
Uh, yes, Salesforce is more complex platform. So if you are starting with marketing automation, I think HubSpot is like lighter
Mhm.
platform. and you can start to work for startup because it also in the bright range that the startup can afford. So that's where you can get the real experience. For Salesforce, it getting much more complex because it much more powerful, and it have all the legacy systems. So it might be kind of difficult to learn in the beginning, but of course Salesforce they have the most like advanced in marketing automation, for example this AI um, engine. So if you want to develop like competitive advantage, then definitely go for Salesforce or Adobe. Those are the enterprise softwares.
Mhm. And this is also another would be this one would be very vague question. But let's say if some company is not yet ready to invest in their marketing automation, how
Yep.
would you go on to convince them?
I would say if you're not ready to invest in a package of marketing automation, at least what they can do is utilize the data that they have,
Mhm.
and you can do the task in Excel, in any other place, in just to kind of design the communication workflow, not in the software but in some other tool, and utilize the data to send different messages to different people. Because if the company don't want to rely or spending too much on marketing technology, it also is still important to know who they are communicate with and know the buyer personas and use the approach of marketing automation. For example, if the customer don't buy HubSpot, they still can learn inbound marketing, where they try to educate the customer before buying instead of pushing the product like advertising.
Mhm. Wow, that's very interesting. That's a very interesting take from there. I was thinking like, well, you cannot convince them, but now
Uh,
I just,
yes, and of course, it's because I'm
mm,
working in the field and I know it good. But
yeah.
from the sales perspective, I understand that it marketing is the spend, and sale marketing is the cost, and sale is the revenue. So before to, I would say company can test the methodology with the simple email marketing, and if it work, if then they probably uh, ready to integrate more channel into this communication strategy.
Mhm. Okay, thank you so much for this. It was amazing.
Thank
And
you so much for having me. I hope it's useful for everyone. And as I say, marketing automation is still relevant skill. It's not replacing what you have learned before about marketing, but it just enhance the marketeer power.
yeah, and also, would you be available, like if anyone has any question later on in the comment section or in the, like if they comment in the groups or anywhere else, if they email us, can we forward those to you and would you be up for answering them?
Yeah, sure. I'm in the group Facebook group, so I think that is the fastest way to answer the some question. But if, of course, if you want like more in-depth information, please feel free to share my presentation with attention. And yes, there are a lot of keywords that you might be utilize is to search, not only search for marketing automation, but search something more in depth like experience, personalized experience, or customer journey. You're gonna find a lot of information.
Mhm. Yeah, that sounds great. Thank you so much for holding this workshop. This was really great, and I'm pretty sure everyone learned a lot from you. And we would again love to have you in some more depth topic inside marketing again in the future.
Thank you so much, and I wish that you have time to provide much more workshop because I think the idea of the shortcut is really good. It creates the most relevant, like it tell people about the relevant skill, not only the traditional way of studying.
Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much for the nice words. And I personally believe in this club also so much, because I think, like, you don't need a degree to just learn about all of this, but rather you can always learn by workshops and always learn by these different materials, and also free materials from the online, and it doesn't has to be a course or a degree.
Exactly. Yes. So thank you so much and wish everyone a nice evening.
Yes,
Sunny.
thank you. Thank you
Thank
everyone.
you.
Have a great day. Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye.